Figured you guys probably missed our lovely whiteboard. So here it is, still in great shape. So this D string review video is a little different from the other one. This one adds in our fingering chart over here, and I'll actually be drawing the note names on the staff here for you. I also have my handy dandy cello with finger tapes to help us out. Now, this video is great if you have an instrument at home. It is also really helpful if you do not. So we will have classes where whether you have an instrument or not, you'll be practicing putting the notes on the staff, or you will also be practicing putting the notes on this fingering chart. Now, quick review. On the cello, we've got C, G, D, A. Cats go down alleys. If you go farthest to closest to your thumb, which is how we did it last year, we have ants, dig, in the ground to China, except you'll be here. I can't really show you great posture and the whiteboard all at the same time, so please make sure you are playing your cello properly, not the way I'm doing it in this video here right now. So we are starting off with our D string. And if you were to play just your open D, the way you would see it on the staff would be like this. Just right smack in the middle line. Now, make sure if you are drawing the note that the line is going right through the middle of the note head, the circle part of the note. Now, if the line is going through the note head and the note head is not filled in, or there's no stem, no line coming out of the note, it is still the note D. The way that it looks, whether it's filled in or not, has a stem or not, that all has to do with rhythm, how long the note lasts. We'll be reviewing that in a different way in the coming classes as well. So now, if I want to put D on my fingering chart, I look over here. This represents our cello. So we've got C, G, D, A, or if you go from high to low, ants, dig, in the ground to China. We are looking at the D string. We put our open strings up top there, so I'm going to go ahead and label that one. All right, we are going up one note, putting our first finger on that tape at the top of the cello. Make sure that you have a nice hand shape. And that gets us the note E. To go one note higher, we're going to go from middle line to next space. Now, if I ask you to label the note names and or the finger numbers, a reminder that note name goes below the note like this. D and then E. D is 0 fingers. We're going to put that above the note. And E is 1. Then I'm going to come over to my fingering chart. Where you see these lines, that matches up with our finger tapes. So your first line here is first finger on the D string. I label it E. All right, next we are only going to talk about our taped notes in this video. So last year we did do second finger. Now we are moving on to our third finger, F sharp. Line to space to next line. I write F sharp below, 3 fingers above. Now notice I did not put the sharp sign before the note. We are going to be practicing looking at our key signature this year. The key signature is right over here by your lovely bass clef. If you see a sharp on your F line, this means every sharp in the whole piece, or every F in the whole piece, is going to be sharp. Does not even have to be the one on the D string. It could be one on a different string. It's going to be F sharp. Then I come over to my fingering chart. I find my next tape for my third finger, F sharp. We're going up again. We did open D, first finger E, third finger F sharp. Now we are doing fourth finger G. Line, space, line, next space. G below, 4 above, and then next to the fingering chart, as you probably guessed. Right next to our third finger tape, we have our fourth finger tape, G. So now we are adding in a new note on the D string. Last year, we only learned this as our open A. If I go to the curve of my cello and plot my thumb here, you'll notice my first finger is not directly across from it. It's a little bit behind it. If I put my first finger there on the D string, it sounds like my open A. So if we go to the next line on the staff, line, space, next line, most of the time we'll play this as our open A string. Sometimes though, you may see a dash and a 1. The dash tells our hand to move or shift. If you were in a class with bass players last year, you've heard that word before. Shift means your hand moves to a new part of the instrument. And we're going to play that with our first finger. So we can play A open, or we can play it first finger on the D string. So I'll come over to my fingering chart here. I'm going to find my next tape. I put A there. We'll talk a little bit more about what we call that coming up. When you shift, we have a new name for that location of the cello. That's coming soon. For now, if you have an instrument, you should practice the other D string review video and playing. If you don't have your instrument, you are going to be filling out something like this. All right, see you next time.